Hi, my name is Nicole Norton, and this is my speech on the single biggest problem facing America right now, or what my opinion of it is. As many of you know, there are numerous problems facing America today, from obesity to problems getting health care, insurance, problems with our social security system, ISIS. The list goes on and on and on. So picking just one big problem for our nation is kind of hard to do. But I chose to focus on our national debt that is currently crippling our economy. As of right now, our country is $18.1 trillion in debt, according to treasurydirect.gov. That since 2008, that has almost doubled. And if you break it down, it's over $54,000 in national debt per American. That's a lot of debt. And a lot of people wonder, how does this debt really affect me as an individual? I get that our nation is in trouble because the debt is so high, but what does that mean for me? Ways our national debt affects consumers and individuals are an enormous rise in interest rates, weak job markets, and higher tax rates. So, the rising interest rates, the government's got to make money some way. So, according to www.accounting.degree.org, they will raise the rates on mortgages, car loans, credit cards, anything you need to borrow money for, student loans. And what this does is they increase the interest rates, which attracts foreign investors, which is good for the federal government. But what that means for individuals is it can really delay buying homes and starting up businesses could be very hard for people because high tax rate or high interest rates could make it a lot harder to make ends meet and really delay the process of trying to move up in the financial world. Another way that the high federal debt is going to affect Americans is it's going to weaken the job market. According to www.heritage.org, when there's no debt overhang, there's a 3.5% increase in job market, and when there's a public debt of 100%, 120% of the GDP, there's only a 1.2% growth in the job market. So that's a pretty big difference. And also, CBO.gov says the large amount of debt that would restrict policymakers' ability to use tax and spending policies to respond to unexpected challenges such as economic downturn and financial crisis would cause things like a negative effects on the economy and people's well-being, and it would compromise the national security by constricting defense spending. So it puts our national security at risk for if we ever go into a war or anything also. For a lot of employers also, the increased interest rates and tax rates would make it a lot harder to make ends meet and harder to keep a larger amount of employees around because the overhead would increase with the tax rates and interest rates. So that would negatively affect our job market, which is already struggling. Lastly, the high tax rates would affect Americans nationwide. According to www.cbo.gov, they say the increased federal spending equals a rise in interest and a rise in tax rates also. And then that causes lower spending for benefits and services like Medicare, Medicaid, welfare, Social Security. All things that we are already struggling to pay for would be negatively affected if this debt just keeps rising. So these are several reasons why I feel like our national debt is extremely important and people need to pay attention to it, and hopefully our nation can get a hold of it in the next couple decades, or else we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Thanks for listening.